Welcome back to my channel, sports fans. Okay, let's get into this one right here. LeBron James, nail in the coffin, right? This one, LeBron James exposed the nail in the coffin. That's it, folks. We can't tell you nothing else but the truth and the fact of the matter in the history of LeBron James and a little bit of the history of the NBA. And what made me want to do this video was the fact that I heard from Uncut Hoops on this video. He played a clip where Stephen A. Smith said that LeBron has been a treasure to the NBA. In this sports and fitness rants, he did an entire video on that. But you guys got to understand what these guys are talking about when they say these type of things. Stephen A. Smith, does this guy really know sports? Does he really know basketball? Is he a real analyst? Sports analyst? What's going on with this guy? Well, we can see that he's about to change sides pretty soon. I saw an interview. He was on Fox, and they said a big announcement was coming. And it's obvious from what's going on in the way he done switched sides already, condemning the Democratic Party, that he's going to get a job at Fox News, right? And, you know, his boss is on Fox anyway. Disney owns Fox and Disney owns ESPN. So that job won't be too hard to get. And I think he done secured it. But the fact is, it looks like he's about to jump ship and go roll with the Republicans, like a lot of Democrats have. I don't really want to talk about that whole thing, Democrat and Republican. We'll do a video soon on what I think was going to happen in the Donald Trump term. But Stephen A. Smith and guys like, Nick Wright and the Shannon Sharps and I won't say Kendrick Perkins. Kendrick Perkins he's below me. The Chris Broussards, these type of guys, they ought to be ashamed of themselves. They ought to be ashamed of themselves as far as the NBA is concerned. And before we go on with this story, you guys got to understand the lies that these guys tell for LeBron James the last 15 years is something that they have to do. Working for ESPN and Fox and Disney, they have to do these things. So when these guys tell these lies on behalf of LeBron James, it's not just because of Clutch Sports. It's because that's the only way they can keep their job, right? Because the NBA gave their rights, not rights, but Disney, Fox, ESPN pay money for the NBA. So they have to make their money back by basically lying. And what they do to pretty much balance this out and being able to not only lie about LeBron James, but this era right here in the 2010s, the 2020s, is that they tell truth about other things like the NFL, so they can kind of like balance that out. So you might think, oh man, when you're young, you don't know the history of the NBA like that. So you think these guys are on TV, they're telling the truth. So if they're not lying about the NFL, why would they be lying about LeBron James? Why would they be lying about this era? Why would they be lying about a lot of stuff? Because on the other hand, they're not really lying about the other stuff that they talk about as far as sports. So LeBron James, Stephen A. Smith said, has been a treasure to the NBA. And folks, what you guys got to realize, what they're talking about is, they're talking about money. He's not talking about something good as far as, taking the NBA to the next level. like Michael Jordan did, taking it global, or saving the NBA like Bird and Magic, or putting the NBA on the map with Russell and Wilt Chamberlain, right? Kobe Bryant, Dirk Nowitzki, your Kevin Garnett's and your Tim Duncans, basically the last of the Mohicans. And some of these guys we're going to talk about as far as LeBron James is concerned. And you see a lot of these images on the screen, and we're going to explain that in a few minutes. But LeBron has been a treasure to these guys, to ESPN, to Fox, to a lot of guys on social media, for better or worse. And it's basically been for the worst, right? His career has been for the worst. He has been getting his butt kicked up and down the court all of his career. But somehow, the ESPN and Fox media has found a way to make this guy a treasure. Found some way to make money off this guy. A 4-6 loser, 6 finals blowouts without seeing the game 7. Swept twice. I think 2 gentlemen sweeps. What was it? 4-2s or something like that. Lost 4 times with the super team. So let's understand this, folks. The 90s was the golden era. And the Bird and Magic ratings in the finals, the Michael Jordan finals in the 90s, those will never be touched. Those will never be touched. And to this day, LeBron James, without Curry, has not been able to pull the ratings in the finals without Curry. Now, when Michael Jordan retired, even Kobe and Shaq could not pull the ratings that Michael Jordan pulled in all 6 championships. And his biggest was 97-98, right? Against the Plumber crew. Kind of funny. They wanted to see Michael Jordan play plumbers, right? The Utah Jazz. But for some reason, the world did not want to see LeBron James play in 2007 against Tim Duncan. One of the lowest ratings of all time, folks. Remember, your king came into the league. Not my king, your king, calling himself the king, missing the playoffs his first 2 seasons in the weakest East since the 1950s. That's kind of a big stain on your legacy right there. A big stain. Because the second season that you missed the playoffs, you had an all-star teammate. But you choked down 19 of 31 after the all-star break and didn't make the playoffs. You do make it in your 3rd season. And then miraculous, just amazing, you make the finals after only being in the playoffs 1 time prior. Let me ask you guys a question. Because real NBA fans are not dumb. If Michael Jordan missed his first 2 seasons, missed the playoffs his first 2 seasons, and then made the playoffs in his 3rd season, only to lose in the 2nd round, right? His 4th season, he makes the finals after only being in the playoffs 1 time in the 80s, right? How would that look for the NBA back in the 80s? It would be one of the biggest jokes of all time. And couple that with the fact that Jordan made the finals after being in the playoffs only 1 time and missing the playoffs 2 times in a row prior to that, and he makes the finals in his 4th season with no all-star teammate, no Hall of Fame teammate, no top 75 teammate, no All-NBA teammate, no All-NBA defensive teammate. So you're trying to tell me Michael Jordan could get through that 80s East without having, with what LeBron James did? So we all know LeBron James beat 250 win teams. And if I'm not mistaken, he was second. He was a 2 seed behind Detroit. Folks, we aren't dumb. We know it was no competition back then. You can't make the finals like that back in the 80s, the 90s, the 70s, the 60s. It don't work like that. All they could tell us was how great this guy was, LeBron James, for making the finals in 2007, but he had no help. That's right, folks. We hear the LeBron fans always scream, LeBron James had no help. You're just exposing yourself, folks. Sometimes you got to listen to what these guys, the media says. They have money to make, but they expose themselves. It's not possible in any other era to do what LeBron James did in 2007. So what happens? He gets to the finals against Tim Duncan, and he diarrheas all over the floor. Now put up good stats like, man, I ain't got no Hall of Fame teammate. I don't have no top 75 teammate, no All NBA teammate, no All Defensive teammate, but I'm gonna give it a fight. I'm gonna go down like Jordan in '86 against the Celtics on a broken foot. Because remember, this is the guy that he supposedly admired, but we found out it's really not. It's Kobe Bryant that he looked up to, folks. How many quotes has he used from Kobe Bryant? How many videos have we come out where he talked about Kobe Bryant was his idol and he looked up to Kobe Bryant? Remember, too young to see Michael Jordan, maybe a couple games in his last couple years, maybe, I don't know, but it was Kobe Bryant. Remember, he went to the Kobe Bryant camps. He told, I'll never forget Kobe Bryant this, Kobe Bryant that. It was Kobe Bryant, folks. So he didn't go out there in 2007 like Michael Jordan, knowing that he was going against great competition, show out in the Garden, coming off a broken foot, and put up 63, put up 49. And that's how Michael Jordan was making his name. Not winning championships, folks. When the odds are stacked against you, you don't go down like a punk. It's the thing where you say, well, this is what you're going to need to beat me. All these great guys. Well, I don't have nothing, but I'm going to still give it to you. That's how Michael Jordan made his name, folks. He didn't make his name off of dunking. He didn't make his name off of choking, melting down, or because he could hang in the air. No, he made his name off of being an OG and giving it to these cats. And LeBron James did it. He went to the 2007 finals and pooped all over his pants. 6 turnovers a game. Shooting 60-something% from the line. 20-something% from 3. 35% from the field. In a lot of those games, even though it was a sweep, they could have won a lot of those games. Remember when they played Denver? The past couple years. Remember, all those games were close, but LeBron James couldn't come through in the clutch. What he did, he front runned for 3 quarters, but when it came to the 4th quarter, he was nowhere to be found. So, guys, so we know he went to the finals after already being in the playoffs one time, had no help. Beat no competition, really. Beat 250 win teams. 500 win teams. And he beat a Pistons team without Ben Wallace that his team put up, I would say, half the effort because he choked down in some of them games. So he gets to the finals. He does that. He gets humiliated. What do you think, folks? The NBA is done. The NBA is done. And if it's not done, the viewership just collapsed. Because we're looking at this like this isn't Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan would be dunking all over it. Ain't no Manu Ginobili going to stop Michael Jordan. Ain't no Bruce Bowen, who couldn't even get on a damn team in the 90s and was a journeyman. He was playing overseas most of the 90s. He couldn't even get on a damn court. Ain't no Bruce Bowen stopping Michael Jordan. I don't give a damn if it's 80s Jordan or 90s Jordan, because 80s Jordan was more spectacular, folks. So we know he ain't stopping no 80s Jordan. That's where Jordan made his name in the 80s when he wasn't winning championships, folks. Okay? Ain't no Manu Ginobili going to stop Jordan. Now, they might beat Jordan if it was the 80s Jordan without no team, but Jordan about to give it to him. Okay? Because you ain't going to stop Jordan from going to the hole. He going to pull up and shoot the mid-range. It ain't going to happen. He's going to get to the line. He ain't going to turn the ball over like that. He's going to hit his free throws. What I'm saying is, folks, this was a very bad look for the NBA. LeBron melting down. He didn't choke because he wasn't supposed to win, but melting down after playing nobody, no competition, and there's no competition in the East. And we told you the path of which he got to the finals. And Kobe was going through his thing. So it's like, where's the NBA now? Tim Duncan is... Yes, big fundamental, but he has no character. Where's the NBA now, folks? Allen Iverson thinks he's a thug. Grant Hill is hurt. Vince Carter ain't living up to expectations. Look, Vince Carter just got beat by LeBron James that had only been in the playoffs one time. And Vince Carter was supposed to be the next Michael Jordan. And he had Kidd on his team, Jason Kidd. So that's a black eye for the NBA already right there. The Shaq and the Kobe feud, they got into it. Now Kobe don't have no team. The NBA was in disarray back then, folks. And LeBron just capped it off. What are we going to do? And guess what? Tim Duncan keeps winning. The international team, the Spurs, they keep winning. What happened to American basketball? We just got destroyed in the 2004 Olympics with LeBron on there. Went to the FIBA and got destroyed again in 2006 with the LeBron era really now leading the way. The NBA was going through hard times back then, folks. It really was. And LeBron James was not that dude. He was a guy that was bringing the ratings down. He was not that dude. He couldn't shoot the mid-range. He couldn't shoot threes back then, even though he took a lot. Couldn't shoot free throws. Wasn't giving you no paint work. It was more just bull charging the lane, taking a running head start from the three. Yes, he was a great player because the league was not fundamentally sound. Why do you think Michael Jordan came out of retirement to play with the Wizards? He was pissed. These guys are not fundamentally sound. He got on Kwame Brown. Like, let's go, man. This is 2003, and you guys are supposed to be better than us coming into the league. Things are supposed to evolve. So we roll to 2008, and LeBron James basically has to play the Big Three Celtics in an old team that was already 10 years plus into their career, trying to come together like, a Clyde Drexler, Hakeem, and Barkley. That's what they was doing. It didn't work in the 90s because the guys were just better. They stopped those guys from winning. And who was it? Well, it was the plumbing crew, John Stockton and Karl Malone, back-to-back seasons, shut those guys down. Because those guys on the Jazz were more fundamentally sound guys. Let's not forget, in 2005, they had a cutout defense. That's how LeBron finally makes the playoffs. Because they cut out defense. So that Big Three comes together. And LeBron takes them to next season, 2008, to a game 7, shooting like 38% from the field, 60-something percent from like 68% from the line. It was crazy. 31% from 3, almost 4 turnovers. And he took that Boston Big 3 to a game 7, playing like that, folks. So now we know that his team pretty much carried him to that game 7 where he melted down in 2008 against that Big 3. And we know about 2009. What happens? Now he gets the number 1 seed over that Big 3 with no all-star teammate. Who was there that year? I think Ben Wallace was there. So we can't say no Hall of Fame teammate because Ben Wallace was there. I can't remember what year Antoine Jameson ain't a Hall of Famer. Anyway. Yeah, so he gets the number 1 seed over this Big 3. And why not? They're done. They're not that good, man. They had the number 1. They won a conference one time in like 6 years together. Won 1 championship. That's it. With the 1 finals. And LeBron James won the MVP over that so-called great Big 3. 2000. Then he loses to the Magic, a number 3 seed. But we'll talk about that in a minute. And we know why he lost. We found out later why he really lost. 2010, he does the same thing. That big mighty Boston, a number 4 seed this year, folks. He gets the number 1 seed over them in the MVP again. And basically, both of those years, the number 1 seed overall in the entire NBA. In 2010, I think he had old Shaq. So, folks, the East is really weak. The East is really weak. That whole time he was in there, it was really weak. You get number 1 seeds over the big 3 with basically no Hall of Fame teammates in their prime. You're taking that Big 3 to a game 7. I think Antoine Jameson was there in 2008. You took that Big 3 to a game 7. We know what you did in 2007 with no help. And you expose yourself when you say that. And look, guys, we're not trying to say LeBron James isn't a great player. But he doesn't have a great skill set. Doesn't. He really doesn't have a great skill set. Except for being big, fast, and strong. Can't say he's a good mid-range shooter. Can't say he's a good free throw shooter. Can't say he's a good 3-point shooter. Can't say he's a great passer like the Jason Kidds and the John Stocktons and the Magic Johnsons and the Chris Pauls and these type of guys. 7 assists is good. It's not great and it's not upper echelon. Great will be 8 to 9. In upper echelon is 10 plus. Same with the rebounds. He's a horrible rebounder. 7 rebounds a game, 6'9", 250. We won't even talk about what great and what upper echelon is because he's not there. All they could say for a long time was 27, 7, and 7. But they his fans don't know how to break that down. 27 points, what is that? I would say it's great, but it's not upper echelon, folks. It's not upper echelon. He's not clutch. The NBA was in big trouble with this guy, man. They really didn't know what to do with this guy. And what Kobe, the events that happened in those 2000s up to 2014, basically was LeBron James getting destroyed, stomped out, told he's not good enough to be one of the greats up at the top on the Mount Rushmore or top 10. You're not a leader. you're not clutch. That's what happened to LeBron James all through the 2000s up until 2014. He got stomped out and embarrassed. Right? He got stomped out and embarrassed. In 2007, what happens? Kobe gets on the U.S. team and brings home gold in the FIBA. LeBron James couldn't do it. With the LeBron James era guys, while they were in awe of Kobe Bryant, his work ethic, his skills, his dedication, and his no-nonsense approach. 2008, finally gets an all-star teammate, goes to the finals, and has to play that big three. And yes, he loses, and you can say technicality, Bottom got hurt, but it is what it is. He didn't say that. But that summer, 2008, he brings home gold in the Olympics, something that the LeBron era guys couldn't do. The next season, 2009, Kobe battles through that West again to get to back-to-back finals, playing the greatest players in the NBA that's in the West, the best teams that's in the NBA that's in the West, waiting for LeBron James, the media matchup everybody was waiting for, that was predicted in commercials, that was advertised in commercials. LeBron James didn't show up. Instead, Dwight Howard showed up with Hito Turkoglu and the rest of these guys. I think JJ Redick was on that team. Wow, didn't you stomp LeBron James out, JJ Redick? Wow. Okay. So Kobe takes care of that. Winning his first championship without Shaq, going to back-to-back championships. The next season is basically a replay. A replay. LeBron James not only gets the number one seed overall in the playoffs and wins the MVP again, but Kobe Bryant battles through the West where the best competition is, the best players, the best teams, waiting for LeBron James in his third consecutive finals. LeBron James doesn't show up, folks. He didn't show up. He melts down and chokes again. This time against the number 4 seed, Boston. The big 3 Celtics that, guess what? Orlando beat them the year before. After they took care of LeBron James. Right? They took care of LeBron James, and then they beat the big 3 Celtics to go to the finals. The Magic did. So why couldn't LeBron James beat the big 3 Celtics? Well, because, folks, we heard on First and 10 the day after, and Skip was on there, and Skip said, after Skip gave it to him, oh, that's classic, folks. You guys got to go watch that. I done did many videos on that. Skip destroyed this guy. But we know now, because in the show, Skip said that LeBron told everybody at the beginning of the 2009-2010 season that he was no longer going to be wearing the number 23 next season, and he was going to wear the number 6. Folks, guess what? He wore the number 6 in Miami. So it was already a premeditated loss that LeBron James did. And in that show, Skip talks about how LeBron James is waving the white flag and telling his team to stand down in that fourth quarter. And Skip said he never seen nothing like it in his life. Never seen nothing like it in his life. They weren't even trying to compete to try to come back. And LeBron James would just fumble on the ball and kept turning it over. Just basically gave it to him. So Kobe, with the fringe all-star teammate, Paul Gasol, go 7 games against 3 top 75 players, and Kobe and the Lakers win. And Kobe basically cements himself up at top with the Michael Jordans, the Bill Russells, the Wilt Chamberlains, the Kareems, and the Magic Johnsons. Because what Kobe did in that 4-year span will never be touched. It's something on the greatness of what Michael Jordan did in the 90s with the 6 championships. You know, what Bird and Magic did in the 80s, bringing the league back. What Kareem did with the 6 MVPs and being dominant on offense and defense. What Wilt Chamberlain was, maybe the greatest player of all time, and nobody's close. What Bill Russell was able to achieve with the 11 championships and basically being the greatest leader of all time. And that's what Kobe did. 2007 brought home gold in the FIBA. They couldn't do it. The LeBron James couldn't do it. His guys in that era couldn't do it. Remember, they got beat in 2006 by grease plumbers. Nobody knew who these guys were. 2008 brought back gold to the United States. 2008 goes to the finals without Shaq. Yes, he lost. Goes back in 2009, wins without Shaq. 2010, back-to-back without Shaq. That's funny because I don't remember Shaq going to 3 straight finals without Kobe. And I don't remember Shaq going to winning back-to-back championships without Kobe. Oh, Kobe did that without Shaq. Last time I knew, Shaq wasn't even a leader in his last championship, right? He was, Dwayne Wade was. He wasn't even a leader. So again, he's never went to back-to-back or 3 championships in a row without Kobe, and he's never won back-to-back championships without Kobe, and Kobe did all that, folks. Kobe cemented his name. That's it. That's it, folks. It was over. No LeBron and Jordan debate. What are we talking about? What Kobe did was incredible, folks. 2011. Remember, by the time then, in 2010, after LeBron choked it down, the media was finished with this guy. This guy was known as a choker, the brick, couldn't come through, can't shoot the ball. Everything, folks. He had the easiest way to the finals, and he still got whooped. And that's probably the biggest problem with the whole thing. He was in the weak East, so he never really played no great competition like Kobe was playing over there, right? So we know the next year he builds this super team just in case he got to run into Kobe again, right? We heard Dwayne Wade say this, right? Dwayne Wade, he said this. Man, Kobe was winning all these championships. Man, we got to stop him, right? So they grouped up. And the excuse was going to be in the future. We talked about this. If Kobe shows up to the 2011 finals, which will be 4 in a row, right? Even though the LeBron fans will say, oh, man, he got swept by Dirk. Yeah, look what the man just did in a 4-year period. What you want from the dude? They retired. What do you want? LeBron ain't did nothing since he come into the league but get abused in big moments and choke and melt down. Kobe had 5 NBA championships by then, folks. And LeBron fans want more? LeBron didn't have nothing at that point. While we hear this nonsense talking about, oh, LeBron, he the best player since he came in. At doing what? So the excuse would be if that big three Heat, right? LeBron, Dwayne Wade, and Bosh, if they ran into Kobe in the finals again, the excuse would be like, see, told you. Yep, he's that good. We had to build a super team. So Kobe beat that big three super team. They would just say, see, we told you. We had to build a super team. He's that good. If they beat Kobe, it'd still be like, yep, see, we told you. This is what we needed to beat him. A bunch of cowards. A bunch of cowards. That's what they was. A bunch of cowards. Especially LeBron James. And remember what we told you before. What the media is not telling you. That LeBron James has never won a championship as a leader. He's always been amongst other number ones that led a team to a championship, right? He always left his home to go play at another home. He's always won a championship at another home. He doesn't have a home. He's like a gypsy, right? Aren't those people that just travel around? Really have no place to live? So he's never won a championship without a super team or as a number one. He's always been just a number one amongst the other number ones. So he loses in 2011. This dude is destroying the NBA, folks. This guy, since he came into the league in that time, 11, 12 years, just destroying the league and making the viewer just walk away. What level of Michael Jordan is this guy on? We're not saying he had to win anything, but why are you melting down in these games? Why are you the favorite in these games and losing? Why are you getting number one overall seeds and losing? This never happened to Michael Jordan. He never lost with the number one seed. He never went and built a super team to win. Ron Harper was already there when Jordan came back. Tony Kukoc was already there. They just went and got a rebounder. Something that LeBron James, probably if he did more of, maybe he would have won more championships. Right? He wants to save his energy to be this fake Magic Johnson. Well, give us 10 plus assists a game, guy. We're going to need you 10 plus a game. We don't need you. You giving us 7 assists a game. We need damn 10 plus. You say you're this great passer. That's what we need. And then you can give us 7 rebounds like Magic Johnson. But if you can't give us 10 plus assists a game, 12, 11, 12, 13, 10, then go get 10 rebounds. 12 rebounds a game. I call his stat line just in the middle. He's always just in the middle. So he finally wins in 2012. The rise of clutch sports comes aboard, right? And we should know by now that Stephen A. Smith is part of Clutch, because First Take would now come on the scene. Skip was already there with First and 10, but Stephen A. Smith came on this new show, First Take, with Skip, and out the gate, Stephen A. Smith, no matter what, will be a LeBron James apologist. And just lie after lie after lie after lie. As long as you sound intelligent and you say all these big words and you talk all loud, you talk all fast, that's how you're going to defend LeBron James. This, folks, the NBA was in bad shape. He just beat a young OKC team that these guys were drafted together, his super team, and he just won another MVP on a super team. The next year, he barely beats the Spurs. Thanks to Ray Allen, he adds another super team piece because he's got so many shortcomings. And he wins did I say he wins the MVP that year in 2013 on another super team, right? Well, on the same super team. And we know about 2014 is a no-nonsense type of guy. This isn't LeBron James. This is Tim Duncan. This is Michael Jordan. This is Kobe Bryant. This is Magic Johnson. This is Will. This is Kareem. This is Russell. These guys are no-nonsense type of guys when it comes to basketball. That's why they were so great. LeBron James isn't that. He just tries to beat you off of athleticism. So Tim Duncan was beyond pissed. And probably he wasn't in the game to get the damn rebound that Chris Bosh got. So you know what they did the next year. They destroyed the league and went to the finals and destroyed LeBron James. Record margin. And basically, we'll stop right there. 2014. It was over, folks. It's 2-4 in the finals. A gentleman sweep. A sweep. And I think he lost, a sweep, 4-2. Gentleman sweep, 07, 11. 07, 11, and 14. So he was 2-3. Even when we go to next season, 2015, he's 2-4. So in 6 finals, he's 2-4. But we stopped at 14. And what that means is you guys are done with the 90s. And most of these guys that destroyed him, slapped him around, told him he won't be an all-time great like them. He doesn't have the courage, the hard work, the skill set, the heart, the grit, the clutch, all this. He got whooped around by these 90s guys, and most of them came out of the West, right? You had Kobe Bryant, capped off what he did in those 4 years, waiting for LeBron James, while they were saying he was the MVP and he was the next and he was going to get the torch passed to Kobe Bryant. Passed from Kobe Bryant. It never got passed, guys. That torch never got passed because he built super teams to win championships. So the torch never got passed. What Dirk Nowitzki did to him, beating his super team, humiliating him. What Tim Duncan did to him twice, blowing him off the floor 4-0, and then a gentleman sweep. Guys, recognize what went on. Tim Duncan beat him with no super team. Kobe Bryant did what he did in that 4-year span and went to 3 championships and won back-to-back championships with no super team. Dirk Nowitzki, without a super team, beat this guy's super team. So this guy basically got abused all through the 2000s and basically half of the 2010s. Whether he didn't have a super team or he had a super team, this guy got destroyed and abused. So the next episode for Disney, ESPN, Fox was for them to make up some little child story for this guy based on stats, right? Because he has no positional skills, like we talked about. Can't shoot free throws, can't shoot the mid-range, can't shoot the three, can't give you no paint work,